So guys, let's look at HTML list. So in HTML we have three types of lists. We have unordered lists, we have ordered lists, and we have description lists. So we'll be looking at these types of lists one after the other. So as you can see from what I have here, you can see that I have also added the tag in front of the name of the list. So you can just, by looking at the tag, you will see that the tag is formed using the initials of the name of the list. So unordered, which is U, and list, which is L. So you can see we have this here, and the ordered list we have OL, which is ordered list. We have description list, which is DL. So we'll look at this list one after the other, and we'll start from unordered list, which is the first one that we've listed here. So it's so to create an unordered list, you need to start with the tag UL, just as you can see here. So the first thing you add is your UL tag. So after adding the UL tag, you can press enter. Then this will actually tell your system, the computer, that okay, what Mr. A is about to run, or what Mr. A wants to show in this particular place, is an unordered list. So the system or the computer will know how to render any other thing that you add inside this tag. So another thing is, for you to add your list items, you need to use the list tag. So the list tag is li tag. So let me just add that here for you. So list tag, that is li tag. So you can see that. Let me remove my comment from here and make sure this is commented out. I don't want it to show on the web page. It's just for you guys to see here and follow what I'll be doing. So inside here I can use the li tag to add all the list items. So now let's see, let's add an heading here. Let's add a heading here. So this will guide us on the things that we'll be adding. So let's say H4, you want to list, let's say list 5 types of cars that you know. All right, so from here now we can start by saying the first one that I want to add here, let's say under. Okay, then I come under again. If you are to add 100 lists, okay, let me add this. So each of the list items you want to add, you should always create what, a li tag for each of them. So once you do that, there is no problem. So you can add as many as possible list items that you want. If you want to add 100, that means simply you are going to have 100 li tags with the list items inside it. You get. So after under, let me say Toyota. Okay, then under Toyota, let's have which other one again? Okay, Mercedes. All right, after this, let's have another one. Which other one? Tesla. Yeah, Tesla. So let's have another one here. Which other one can we add again? Oh no, not there. All right, which other one can we add again? Can someone suggest one quickly? Okay, maybe Peugeot. Okay, you guys can check the spelling out if it is correct, but I think it's correct anyway. So I think it's Peugeot. Okay, you guys can just check that out and see if the spelling is correct. Yeah, so if it is not, I'll actually check the correct spelling and let you guys know. So thank you very much. So this is how to create another list. So let's see how this will show up on our web page. So quickly, I'll view that on a web page. All right, so let's scroll down to see our unordered list. So if you guys can see clearly, that is the last part of this screen, and if you can get that through the heading of the list. So list 5 types of cars that you know. So if you look at this place clearly, you will see how this list or these things or these items have been listed out. So you can see the bullet point just before the list items. So that is how you are going to get your items listed out when you use the unordered list. fine. You can also change these bullet points. You can change it to a square type, you can change it to a circle type, but we won't be looking at that here. When we get to CSS, we'll see how to manipulate that quickly. So thank you very much. That is how to add unordered list. You guys can try to, before you move to the next one, try to come up with your own, create your own unordered list, and see that you are good to go with that. So let's see if we can. Okay, let's look at the next type of list, which is the ordered list. Yeah, quickly. So which is the second one on this list? If you guys can see this clearly, yeah, you see that this is the second type of list that we have here. So quickly, without wasting time, we'll see how to do that. I'm very sure some smart guys would have gotten how to do that by now, quickly following what we did with another list. But if you haven't, let's just go through it quickly. So let's add an heading. Let's add a heading here quickly, so we can see what to add in our list as our list items. So here we'll be listing out list 5 types of food that you like. All right, so let's just go down here, just as we've done for another list. To start your ordered list, you need to use ol what tag. So inside your ol tag, after adding your ol tag, you can press enter. So that was how I was able to get my closing ol tag to come to the third line, which is line 42. So we can now add our list tag again, so to add all the list items. So simply your ol tag will tell the computer, okay, what Mr. A is trying to run in this particular place should be rendered as what, as an ordered what list. You get? So we'll see how that will show up on the web page, but first let's add our list items, and we go to our then we go to our browser to check. So the first one I would like to add here is jollof rice. I'm very sure most everyone likes jollof rice. Another one I'm going to add quickly is pounded yam. Okay, maybe not everyone likes this, but I think I like this. So you can also create your own list. There's no problem, and tell us what you like. So pounded yam. Which other one again? BB, which is beans and bread. Okay, yeah, let's go 2 more. Which other one again? I think rice and beans. Okay, let's go. The last one, which would be swallow, that is apple and egusi soup. All right, thank you very much. So if you guys don't like this type of food, you can also include your own. There's no problem, it's by choice. Thank you. So let's see this now. Because we are using live server, we don't need to open your live server again. As you've saved, your file would have been updated on your browser. So let's just open a browser to see what we've done quickly. Okay, my page is loading. All right, so it has finished loading. So you guys can see this. We have list 5 types of food that you like. So we have the first one, jollof rice, pounded yam, beans and bread, blah blah blah. Now you can see how this thing is listed. You can see that it is clearly different from the first one. The first one, our list items, they are listed using what's the bullet points. Now you can see from here that our list item has been listed using what 1 2 3 4 5, showing that it is what ordered. That is this that is the specific meaning of the ordered in that tag there. You get? So you can see how it is ordered 1 2 3 4 5. Now we can also manipulate this, and we would like to look at how to manipulate this quickly, you get, before moving forward, because sometimes you might not really be interested in making your or maybe you don't want your list items to be in 1 2 3. So let's see how we can change that. There are some other things we can do to that too, so quickly. So before I talk about that, that will bring me to talking about this HTML attributes. So attributes are just semantic markups that you can use to manipulate or to modify your tag, you get. So you can always add attributes inside of a tag, you get. So how do you add attributes inside a tag? To add an attribute, the first thing you need to know is that HTML attributes have 2 parts. We have the attribute name and we have the attribute value. So as you can see here, this is how you are going to write your attribute. The attribute name first will be equal to, you add your quote, then you put your attribute value inside. So but there is an exception here. Whenever you are dealing with numbers, you don't put numbers inside quotes. So you guys will understand this better later, but for now just take it as a syntax of how to add what HTML attributes. So how do you add attributes? Let's quickly see an illustration here, then we can go back to what we have to do. Let's say this is a tag. Let's say we have a tag. Then to add an attribute inside this place, you add the attribute inside the opening tag. All right, so let's see. I'll just use this as an illustration. Then we'll go back to what we have to continue with our work. So attribute name will now be equal to, you add your quotes, then attribute value. So this can be any type of attribute and the value can be any type of value. So you guys should just take note. This is just an illustration. So if you guys understand this, then let's go back and use attributes to manipulate this our ordered list tag. So the first type of attributes that I would like to look at under the ordered list is type. So for this type, we can use the type to change the type of the type of rendering of our list items. You get, so by default all our items will be listed out, will be rendered using 1, 2, 3. So let's say we want to change that, then we can now use the type attribute. So the first one we'll be looking at is A, capital A. So after adding A, just save it. So you can see your type here is your attribute name, while your A here is your attribute value. So I've saved it. Let me go back to my web page and see the updated stuff. Okay, so you guys can see that our list now has now been rendered using what, A, B, C, D, E. So you can see that it's ordered too. You get, it's not like we have A, then you get C, then you see F or something. So you can see A, B, C, D, E. It is ordered. You get, so if you don't want your items to be in 1, 2, 3, you can also make your items to be rendered in what using alphabet letters, which is A, B, C, D, E. So let's see, another thing we can do here is to do what, is to change this A to small a, that is lowercase a. So let's see what we'll get here quickly. Alright, so you guys can see now that we still have the alphabet, but now in lower case. So you can do that, just test that out yourself and you can see, and you see what you're going to get. So another type of rendering we can get is to use the I. So let's see what this will give us quickly. I'm using the capital I, so let's see what is going to happen quickly. Page is loading. Okay, yeah, so you can see now. So we have our list rendered using the Roman figures. So we have Roman figure 1, Roman figure 2, Roman figure 3, Roman figure 4, 5. So you can see, and we still have our list items here, not changing. The only thing that has been changing here is the way the list has been rendered. The first one was 1, 2, 3, which is numeric values. Then the other one is ABC, which is the alphabet letters. Now we're having the Roman figures. So thank you very much. As you can see, or as we've done for the ABC, we can also use the lowercase I. Yeah, so if you use the lowercase I, let's see what we're going to get quickly. Alright, so you guys can see we have this, and we have our Roman figures in lowercase. So that's fine, and that's that regarding the type attributes. Now let's look at another type of attribute quickly before we leave here. The next attribute we're looking at is the start attribute. So let's assume that you don't want to start your list from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You get, let's assume you've created a list before, then you need to discuss something underneath, then you want to continue with the list. So you can actually start from the next number on the list instead of starting again from 1, 2, 3. You get, let's say you listed out something 1, 2, 3, 4, and before the 5th you need to explain something about the 4th list item that you have there. You get, so you can explain it. Then if you want to continue from the 5th one, that is immediately after the description of the 4th list item, then you can now use the start attribute inside, that is inside the next that is inside the OL attribute that you're going to create next. You get, for that list. So you can now say, let's say we want to start from 20. So inside the start, let's just put 20, and we can go back to our page to see Okay, I think I've saved that. So let's see what we'll have quickly. All right, so you guys can see, if you guys are familiar with Roman figures, then you see that XX is what, 20, XXI is 21, XXII is 22. But okay, let's go back and change this to 1, which is the default value of the type attribute. So we are going to see, all right, so we can see clearly that this starts from what, 20, 21, 22. Now, one mistake that people do is this 20, you don't need to write 20 in Roman figure. You don't need to look for the 20th letter in the alphabet. Just put 20 by itself. It will know how to show up whatever thing that is supposed to show up based on the type value that you have. So you don't need to change 20 to XX inside the start, you get. So if you watch when I added the alphabet type, now it started from T should be the 20th letter in the alphabet. So that's very good. So you guys can try that and see how it's going to work. So that's that regarding other lists. So the next thing we'll look at now is a description list, which is the third type of list that we have up there. So just like we've done for UL and OL, I'm sure you guys can guess the tag that will start with now, which is what, DL. So after adding your DL, you press enter, you get. So if you see after adding your DL, you see that your closing tag is directly close to your opening tag. So you can just press enter because your cursor will be in the middle, so it will shift your DL down to the third line and leave a space in the middle for you to add whatever thing you want to add. So here now we've seen how to add UL and OL, and we've seen that after adding your UL, after adding your OL, what you can use to add the list item is to use what, LI tag. But here we will not be using LI tag here because this one is what, different, you get. So just like the name, we want to use this list, you want to create a list that will be described, you get, that each of the items will be what, described, you get. So we can give descriptions to each of the items. So let's see, how do we go about that? We'll be making use of two tags here that is inside the description list. So let me just add that here quickly, or okay, let me add that, okay, let me add that here quickly before we use it. So the first one will be the DD tag, which is the full meaning is description data, sorry, description data. Okay, all right, so we have description term, yeah. All right, so as you can guess, this will be what, can you guess that? All right, it's DT, you're correct. And if you are not, now you know that. So let me just comment this out. So if you want to comment quickly without wasting time, oh, don't let me teach you that now, I'll teach you that later so you guys can remind me. So you guys can work very well. You can add it the way it's supposed to be added normally, you get. So later I'll be teaching you guys some shortcuts that you can use on VS Code. There are a lot of shortcuts that will make life easier for you when you're using VS Code. So these are the two tags that we'll be using on this that is for description list. All right, so inside our DL now we'll be using these two tags here. So the first one we'll be looking at is DT. So this DT will be the one that will list out, or that we'll use to describe which is the term, that is the description term. So as you can see even from the name, that will be the name of the list item, you get. Then we will now use the DD to describe that item that we mentioned. So just like we've done for UL and OL, let's add a heading here quickly. So here we'll say list 5 types of programming languages that you know, and describe them briefly. All right, so we can see that our code is now shifting inside. So because this text is long, so you can use alternate Z to do or to break this long text so that we can always see the codes that we have before. Alright, so by the time you do that, it will break your text to the next line so that you still have the type of screen or the same screen that you have before before the long text. You get. So that is our heading. Then we can now come back here. So now we want to list five types of programming languages. So I'll start from Python. So you use your DT to list the item. Okay, you use your DT to list the item. Then use your DD to describe it. So mind you, okay, so after your Python, then you add your DD directly under DT. So I won't be describing this. I'll just use lorem inside this place so that we can continue with every other thing that we have. Yeah, so that is my first item that I want to describe, and I've described it as well. So the next one, DT, you add another DT. You get. So each of the items should have DD, DT, and DD. So the next one, DT. So let me go say, okay, Java. Alright, so you add your DD as well. So lorem, let me add lorem too. So you guys can describe that. You can go online, search for things that you can put there and make sure it is okay, and make sure you can describe this briefly. You can use that to learn more about each of the programming languages. So here I will have JavaScript. Yeah, so DD, yeah, lorem. Okay, we are good to go. I think I've mentioned or I've talked about how to add lorem. So you guys can just rewind this video, or you go back a little bit to see how to add lorem. I've thought about that, and you guys can just check that out. Okay, so you can just use it in place of your text if your text is not available. So now the text is not available, then we can just make use of that quickly. So here we have C#. Alright, so pronounced as C#. Alright, so no, let me cover this. Alright, so let's add our DD quickly. So we can also add our lorem here as usual. So quickly, let's finish this up. The last one, DT, and let's say C++. Alright, so we add our DD, so lorem. So let's see how this shows up on our screen quickly. Alright, okay, alright, so you guys can see quickly, you can see how this list has been rendered. Yeah, so list 5 types of programming that you know and describe them briefly. Fine. So the first one is Python. You can see how it has been listed out. This description will not start under the Python. It will start immediately. You get, that is after the name. Or after one indentation, or should I say after one tab movement. Like if you press your tab once, then you get to this particular space or particular position that this your lorem is starting from. But the idea is simply that your description will not start from under the name of your theme. Okay, so which is fine. So you guys can try this out and you see. So most times, most people don't talk about the description list. The fact is that you might not be using it every time, but the thing is you'll be making use of your UL and your OL depending on the type of projects that you want to create. So that will be all regarding HTML lists, and I'm very sure you guys understand these 3 types of lists. I've also talked about the HTML attributes, which I'm very sure you guys understand, because you'll be using attributes, in fact, almost all the time. You get. So attributes are very, very important, you get. So you guys should try to note how to add that. So you can see how I have done that here. The type is the attribute name, while the A is the attribute value. Your start here is the attribute name, while the 20 years or what attribute value. One thing I did not mention is that you can add so many attributes inside a tag. And another thing that I mentioned earlier was that all your attributes should be inside the opening tag, please. So you can add several attributes inside the opening tag. So depending on the tag you get, just make sure that it is doing something there. It's not just that you add the attribute and expect it to do something any tag that has attributes has a reason why it has it, you get. So you can always add that using this syntax. So the next thing we'll talk about quickly is marquee tag. So before I wrap it up on this video, then you guys will watch out for other topics in my upcoming video. So the next thing I would like to talk about here is marquee tag. So quickly, I have added a marquee tag above here so you guys can see. So what does a marquee tag do really? So marquee tag are used to create scrolling text. Most people are not aware of this tag, but it's a tag that you can use, and is a tag that you can use to create something that is very, very interesting, or something that is interactive, you get, on your web page. So once you create this, you are going to see a scrolling text on your web page. Now I've added this marquee tag. You can get this tag. This tag is on your code editor, so just type it out and you're going to see it. So let's go quickly to check what I've done. So you guys can see this text here. So this scrolling text is created by the by the marquee tag. So you can also do the same. Now, okay, so you guys can just go ahead and try that without anything now. So another thing I would like to talk about here is that, so we can always add some attributes inside this marquee tag to manipulate it, or to modify it, or to make it do certain stuff for us, you get. So the first attribute we'll be looking at here is the direction attribute. Yeah, so let's look at the direction attributes. Before I add any direction, you guys will see from here that the default direction is that the text moves from right to where? To left. So the destination where it is moving to is what will be inside the direction. So from right to left, that means by default the marquee tag has a direction set to left, you get. So where it is heading to is where it is heading to is the direction that will be adding inside the, or is the value that will be adding inside the direction. So this direction can take 4 values, which is all the 4 directions that we have: the left, right, up, and what? Down. So let's see quickly. Now by default it is set to left, so let's just confirm that quickly. Alright, so you guys can see that there is no difference, in the direction. Now let's change that to right, and let's see what's going to happen quickly. Alright, I just saved that, so let's go. Page is loading. Alright, so you guys can see where this text came out from now. You can see it came out from the left and it's heading to the what? To the right. So you guys can see, so it is where the text is heading to. It is the direction where the text is heading to that you are going to add inside as the value of your direction. So let's see quickly. So let's add up. So let's make it go up instead of left or right. So we can also do this, and let's see the behavior quickly. So the page is loading. Alright, so you guys can see here, just notice here, this place here where you can see my cursor. Yeah, alright, so you see that the text is coming from the bottom to where? To the top. So the direction where it is going to is what you add as a value of your of your direction attribute. So let's change this to down quickly, and let's see. Okay, well, you guys can change that and see what it's going to give us. So I think I don't need to be doing everything, right? Yeah, so let's just check this. I've changed it to right. I like using right, so let's just see what is going to happen here. Alright, so you guys can see we still have the result that we're supposed to get. So after this, another attribute I would like to look at quickly is behavior. So you can see, please, this behavior is not behavior. Please don't add u between this o and r, because that will not make your attributes to work, you get. So this behavior, it has some attributes that we can use. If you see the behavior of this text now, you will see that it will come out from the left as it is now. It is coming out from the left to the right, and it will enter into the screen then come out from the left again. So by default, that is the behavior you get. So, and that behavior is called scroll. That behavior is called scroll. Yeah, scroll. Okay, let's see. All right, so you can save. So if I save now, you see that we'll still have the same behavior as the way it has been doing before. You get, so it will still come out from the from the left and go towards the right. So you see what's going to happen here quickly. So it will still enter into the screen. Yeah, so let's see how to change that if we don't want it to go into the screen. So we can also use another value, another attribute value, which is alternate. All right, so which is alternate. Yeah, alternate. So let's see what this will give us quickly. All right, so you guys can see the text here scrolling from the left towards the right. So let's see what's going to happen when it gets to the edge. All right, so you can see that the text is no more going into the screen. It is now bouncing on the screen. You get, so that is how to create what a bouncing scrolling what text. So you can see that the behavior is now different from what we have before. So that is how to do that quickly. So we have another one, I think, which is slide, but that does not work on Chrome and it does not work on Mozilla Firefox. So another attribute I would like us to look at quickly is the scroll amount attributes. So we can also manipulate the speed of the text or of the marquee element. So let's quickly add this and let's see what's going to happen. So you can see how fast the text is now. So you can change it from 100 to 1000 and see how fast it's going to look like. You get, so that is how to manipulate what your marquee tag. Yeah, I'll be stopping here quickly so that we can go back, practice everything we've done up to this stage. Then in my next video I'll be starting from marquee tag again so that we can see all the options that we can have, or all the things we can create using what marquee tag. All right, thank you very much for staying with me up to this time. I hope we've been able to learn one or two things regarding the basics of what HTML. We'll be taking this step by step, and in my next video I'll be talking about marquee tag again. I'll be talking about image, like how to add image on our web page, and I'll be talking about how to add anchor tag. I'll start that. I'm not sure I'll finish that in the next video, so but we'll see how to do that quickly in the next video. Thank you very much. If you've been able to learn something in this video, kindly like, subscribe and share. If this is your time here, guys, please kindly like, share and subscribe to my channel so that you get notifications whenever I release a new video. Thank you very much. Check back soon for the next video. I promise it will be more exciting. Yeah, so but try to practice all these things we've done. Programming is not something you will learn and feel you've understood it by mere looking at it. You need to practice and make sure that you get everything right. Thank you very much. I'll see you in the next video. All right, goodbye. Thank you.